हरे कृष्ण। ओम ज्ञान तिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। हरे कृष्ण. So one more interesting chapter. This is about Bhishma Dev, another hero of Mahabharata, another hero of Bhagavatam. It's a very interesting chapter. So we will just read. I have some few points about, especially about karma. This chapter helps. The previous chapter, many doubts about suffering of devotees are also answered. And in this also, there are some more very interesting questions that are answered. And especially this, the question about why a devotee suffers. Very nice answers are there. And previous question, of course, there are many very fundamental philosophical questions about Lord, his leelas that are answered. Maybe we have to document it again. Right. So what I was thinking, I will along with this parallelly, I will share the notes. Means I will type, will make the notes also. Maybe it will become easy because I am speaking so many things. I'm not knowing how many are able to. It will miss out. So parallelly, I'll type. So you can also write the notes if you have. So we'll just start. सुतवाच इति भीत प्रजा द्रोहात् सर्वधर्म विवत्सया ततो विनश्यं प्रगाद यत्र देवो व्रतो अपतत. Suta Goswami said, being afraid of for having killed so many subjects on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, Maharaj Yudhishthir went to the scene of the massacre. There, Bhishmadev was lying on a bed of arrows, about to pass away. Purport. In this ninth chapter, as it is willed by Lord Sri Krishna, Bhishmadev will impart instructions to King Yudhishthir on the subject of occupational duties. Bhishmadev will also offer his last prayers to the Lord on the verge of passing away from this mortal world, and thus become liberated from the bondage of future material engagements. Vishwadev was endowed with the power of leaving this material body at will, and his lying down on the bed of arrows was his own choice. This passing away of the great warrior attracted the attention of all contemporary elites, and all of them assembled there to show their feeling of love, respect, and affection for the great soul. This is the summary of this chapter. But what I was thinking, I will just explain few concepts about Chittaman. This is not our concept. Today I wanted to explain about karma. So karma has different understandings. We should clarify. So karma means activity also, action also, but karma also is reaction also. So karma as reaction is something you need to understand. So this I wanted to explain to you. Karma as reaction. So in karma as reaction has two components. So in this first one is what we get. So what we get is like body, mind. Mind here is intelligence, we can say. Mind and our opulence and all the talents and pleasure by pain happen and success. This all depends on karma only from last life. Of course, in this life karma also, but many of the things. And we can say success, talents, pleasure, pains, opulence, happiness, distress. Happiness by distress. And then we can say it also Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't share the screen. So this is all, you're able to see the screen, right? So here, these are the things that are, sorry. So karma is action, karma is also reaction. So generally karma, when, yeah, honor, dishonor, so all the things, basically what we are getting, the type of body you got, the type of, yes, one more important thing is the family, husband, wife, mother, father, children, siblings, all all the things are connected to this one. Family is also things, and relations, friends, and all these things, and even the government, place of birth. So the government which we have, the king and whatever, all the things are decided based on how I am behaving now, will decide what will be next. So this is very simple, all of you understand this. But there is one more important thing, is this is called, so this is actually very important for us to work. See, on the previous thing we cannot work. In this also, reaction also, there are three categories. Three categories in the sense, there are three different places where it makes a change. So in reactions we have, I will add to this. So here we have, so here we have from past life. Second is till the age of 4, and then we have after rest of life. So these are actually reactions are of these categories. So much of them are decided in these 2 times only. We have very little here. What we have, it I'll tell you also, because this chapter helps us to understand. Bhishmadev is going to talk few things, so I just wanted to give a notes for you. And then impressions, these are actually very important. So what does impressions do? This is any action we do, there is also, along with reaction, there is something called impression for the future activities. How we understand, say example, I'll give, say example, if we eat sweet, say gulab jamun. So what happens, you got the experience of it, you liked it or you did not like it, so that is called reaction part. So when we eat sweet, we have action part. So action is eating, and reaction is, first reaction is what? You get the experience of it. You experience it is sweet, hot, or whatever. You like, dislike. Now, but along with that, there is something called impression also that is created. What is that impression? You have some impression of that object. Now, next time when you see, immediately you remember, wow, this sweet, I like it. Or this sweet, my God, I hate it. So what happened? Along with the experience, this impression remains for long. Experience is maybe few minutes, you ate, few minutes, finish. Reaction is done. But the impression will carry on for long. So like that, we have impressions which are stored in our chitta for so many lifetimes. This is the problem. So this information is stored in our chitta. Of course, manas also. I will some other time explain, maybe future sessions, what all this belongs to. But what I am telling is these impressions, which are actually the problem for us. So these are actually creating so much trouble to us. We need to work on them. And what does these impressions do? These impressions create further action. So these impressions create further actions. So we have to work on them. Is it similar to memory, or impressions and memory are two different? Yes, it is memory only in one way. Chitta is full of memory. All impressions are memories. There are different levels in memories like that, but it is memory. Memory of that item, memory of that object, memory of the place, memory of the person. When you see the person, yes, this person I like, he's a best actor, best, he looks beautiful, sings nicely, or whatever, whatever we have the impressions. Now, why these impressions? Now, these are actually what is called vasanas, which are stored in chitta. So these are what. Now where we are to work is these vasanas. These vasanas, they when combined with different modes in goodness, passion, ignorance, or actions are in goodness, passion, ignorance. So these vasanas are in three modes. Means vasanas are not three modes, but we are in three modes because of vasanas like that. So if vasanas are in, say I got experiences of very sattvic things, I become sattvic. So when next time I see sattvic, I get attracted to it like that. So vasanas, we can say three modes. Now, why a person is behaving in a particular way? Because impressions are like that. Why he will like to go to gym? Because his impressions are. Why he want to sleep late? His impressions are. Why he is attracted to internet? Why he is attracted to movies? Or why he is attracted to go to some yoga classes? Why he is attracted to go to some spiritual activities? It's all because of this vasanas only. Because of these impressions only. We cannot much change. We have to now create new impressions. Whatever old one are there, they will all force. Now if a child is behaving very angrily, very irritatedly, very roughly, very mildly, very shrewdly, very intelligently, very passionately, or whatever is there, it's all because of this. Very simple. So any action if you perform, the reactions are in two categories. So now from where these reactions came, from past life till the age of 4, and then rest of life like that. So this is hopefully clear for all of you. So why I am telling this, because this will help us to understand, and Bishwadev is answering certain questions. I wanted to clarify this part. It is not now a person is acting in a particular way is because of his previous actions also. This is very important. What I want to make you understand is, like, say if somebody is acting in a particular way, you say, why are you so passionate? Why are you so ignorant? Why are you too good in goodness? I know why you behave like this, why you are acting in a particular way. And some people like to, they are very selfish. Some people are so generous, some people are so extrovert, some people are so introvert, some people are so irresponsible, some people are too micromanaging, some people are uh, too lenient, some people are too strict. All these things, their actions is actually, it's a reaction only. Don't think they're acting now, they're only reacting now. Like say now if I see a very if I see some quarrel is happening, I will run away from them, because my impressions of quarrel is like, I got very bad. Some very quarrel is there, they will also enter into it. Yes, I got some rasa, they will also get involved, they try to settle it. It is the reaction only. So see, reaction has two parts. It's not what we are getting, and what we are acting is also reaction to our impressions. It is not that they are acting now. They are acting only. That means they are just reacting to the situations. It is stimuli and a reaction. Stimuli and a reaction. Now you keep in front of me nice sweet, and I'll eat. If you keep in front of me fruits, I'll eat. If you keep some nice cooked this some puri or anything, I'll say okay, run away from there. So it is a reaction to my. So these impulses are only, impressions are creating my further actions. Unless these are changed, you cannot expect that the person is going to change. People say, why don't you change? Why don't you change? He cannot change. He's just acting according to his impulses. He's acting according to the impressions he has. The impressions are like that. Like so, uh, this is a reactionary work. That's all. They're already programmed. Yes, Mataji.
Prabhuji, sorry to interrupt, Prabhuji. These three aspects, past life till the age of 4, rest of life, like whatever we have acted and reacted in these things creates an impression. That's what we get as a reaction now. Past life, I understood, Prabhuji. Why till the age of 4 has been highlighted? Like the child unknowingly, knowingly comes to contact, that creates an impression. That's what it means, Prabhuji. Why the aspect of till the age of 4 is mentioned here?
What happens now? Buddhi has not yet grown till that time.
It's a budding stage.
So what happens from the womb of mother, from the Garbhadana Samskara, and there is Srimanta, there are 2-3 samskaras that are performed that cause impressions. So what I'm telling us, these impressions are created till age of 4 very, very strongly. That's why if childhood is very rough for some people, whole life it is destroyed. Childhood is very, very good. Even if so many difficulties come in life, he is a very happy person. He will not have much problem.
Yes, very true.
That's why it is very much counted.
So the subtle conscious is very carefully handled until age of 4.
Because the impressions are very
Impressions
heavy.
are very heavy. Got it,
Whatever comes, he absorbs. Whatever comes, he absorbs. And that's why we have to give very good vibrations. If you give any negative vibration, chastisement, beating, for the children till age of 4 is very, it is actually, it causes damage to them. We should never beat or chastise them. Only love, love till age of 4. And after that, you can start beating.
So it's medically proved also. Even Chanakya Pandit says, no, till that time it is only the love we have to give till the age of 5. Very true. Thank you, Prabhu.
Yeah. So we'll come back to this. Is clear? No doubts. Okay. So I will just we'll come back to purports, because some of the things I wanted to make them clear before we. Yes, Mantamach.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, but is there any way to come out from this impression? Because after 4, we are not, we cannot handle ourselves. It is said that we can, till the age of 4, it is all set. So how can we change them?
Yes, that's why mother is said to be given 100 times more respect than father, because she is responsible for till age of 4 so much, because she only had to give love, 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 and that's what the child learns. And when he gets so much love, when he becomes bigger, he also start giving it. He starts distributing it. He becomes more generous and kind person, like that. Otherwise,
but we cannot, if maybe by chance someone is orphan, or they pass through very traumas. So is there any way to come out from it? Because we having the human life, which is very valuable.
yeah,
So
it is.
we cannot depend on others now.
Yeah, so it is little difficult for them, but still, if their impressions from the previous life are good, they will be good people. Otherwise, they will become some very rough people. Psychologically, they are damaged. If they don't have till age 4 something, they will have so many psychological problems, their relationship problems they'll face. But if they have good impressions from the past life, then it may save. If they don't have, then they'll have whole life, they'll be insecure and relationship problem will be there.
But then after the second life will be also like that, no? So it's all destroyed.
That's many. It's actually happens also. We can see if they have good impressions on the past life, then it may subside. They may overcome it. But if they don't have, already they are rough people and they have very rough childhood till age of 4, then they'll become completely demoniac people.
Thank you.
So at least one concept we covered. There are few concepts like this. I'll try to cover eventually this proper. So we will. So next, at that time, all his brothers followed him on beautiful chariot drawn by first-class horses decorated with golden ornaments. With them were Vyasa and rishis like Dhaumya, the learned priest of the Pandavas, and others. So Dhaumya Rishi. So this is a very interesting that when Pandavas they they were going after Varnavath, they accepted a priest. They accepted Dhaumya Rishi. What happened is they were told that they don't have any guru. That time they Dhaumya Rishi mercifully agrees to become their guiding spiritual teacher, and then life becomes easy for them, because that time till that time it didn't work for them. They were there, some incident happens, and then they see that it was a mistake. I say, why is the mistake? Because they don't have a guide. And here now, very interesting. Bhagavan api viparshe. So Bhagavan api, even though Sri Krishna, Bhagavan api, Ratesa Dharma Dhananjaya sa tair Perochate Nipaha Kuvera iva guhyakai. He says that, O sage among the Brahmanas, Lord Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, also followed seated on a chariot with Arjuna. Bhagavan, even though he is supreme personality of Godhead, that means he could have done everything, but he wanted to. First thing is, he is also following like one of the Pandavas, and he is going to glorify Bhishmadev. The king Yudhishthira appeared very aristocratic like Kuvera, surrounded by his companions, the Guptakas. Lord Sri Krishna wanted the Pandavas to be present before Bhishmadev in the most aristocratic order, so that he might be pleased to see them happy at the time of his death. Kuvera is the richest of all the demigods, and hearing King Yudhishthira appeared like Kuvera. For the procession along with Sri Krishna was quite appropriate to the royalty of King Yudhishthira. So all are very, very special personalities. Arjuna, Yudhishthira, Bhishma, and because they are all connected to Krishna. So, and it was very interesting. And great sages are coming. They wanted to reciprocate with Bhishma Devs, and they know something very big is going to happen. So if big people meet, big decisions and big conversations happen. So Drishtva Nipatitim Bhumau Divaschutam Ivamaram Pranema Pandava Bhishmam Saguna Saha Chakrina. Sanuga Saha Chakrina. Seeing him, Bhishmadev lying on the ground like a demigod fallen from the sky, the Pandavas, King Yudhishthira, along with his younger brother and Lord Krishna, bowed down before them. Lord Krishna was also a younger cousin of Maharaj Yudhishthira as well as an intimate friend of Arjuna. But all the family members of the Pandavas knew Lord Krishna as the supreme personality of Godhead. The Lord, although conscious of his supreme position, always behaved in a humanly custom, and so he also bowed down before the lying Bhishmadev as if he were one of the younger brothers of King Yudhishthira. This is etiquette Krishna is following, and then this is one of the instructions he is giving in Bhagavad Gita also. Krishna is telling, I also follow the standard, just to set an example, just to guide the people of this world. I am also standing, I am also setting example. So tatra brahma rashyasya sarve devarashasya cha sattama rajarashasya tatransan drishtum bharata pungava. So he says, just to see the chief of the descendant of King Bharata, Bhishma, all the great souls in the universe, namely the rishis among the demigods, brahmanas and king, all situated in the quality of goodness, were assembled there. The rishi are those who have attained perfection by spiritual achievement. So I'll tell what is the rishi. Such spiritual achievement can be earned by all, whether one is a king or a mendicant. Bhishmadev himself was also one of the Brahma Rishis and the chief of the descendant of King Bharata. All Rishis are situated in the quality of goodness, and all of them assembled there on hearing the news of the great warrior's impending death. So here, I will just I'll just tell what is this Rishi. This is a very important understanding we should have. I'll just share the screen. So here, how how the knowledge is acquired previous ages. So knowledge is acquired in the previous ages when people start meditations. So okay, this we all know. Then what happens? So when you start meditating, they get to see. Rishi means one who can see. So what they see the mantras. So this is actually how it happens is when Guru he gives the mantra in our right ear. When we hear the mantra and when we start chanting the mantra, and Guru had perfected chanting this mantra. So the Rishi he chanted, and one particular time he can see mantras. So these are the primordial elements of the creation, which are mantras. So anavritti shabdas, creation is from sound. This is what is very important. It's a big topic. I'll just touch a little bit. You get an idea. How creation happens is creation happens from sound. That means when we chant a mantra, say if I say apaha, so even in quantum physics also. So quantum physics also they explain how quantum physics also they explain everything is a wave function. Wave means what? Sound. Na? When we chant, you are able to hear because there is a wave that touches our eardrums and it vibrates, and then we understand. Okay, I spoke certain things. You're understanding? I'm making some vibration in the sound. Of course, it is manipulated. Virtually, it comes to you, and when that sound comes from your laptop or mobile, there is a vibration. It touches our eardrums, vibrates. We understand. Okay, this sound is made. Now this is a wave. So even quantum mechanics, they say everything is a wave function. If you take in front of your laptop or mobile or whatever you have, you go more and more into you see electrons, and this electron is what? It's a wave. Electron is a wave. Of course, it acts like particles wave also, but this achintya. Krishna is achintya, so this is also achintya. Within, see, very interesting. The regular physical laws don't apply in quantum physics. Then, but still, people, when it comes to Krishna, they want to apply their laws on Krishna. Your laws within this physical laws don't apply in quantum physics. How can you apply your laws and Krishna also? It says Krishna should follow like this, Lord should be like this. Your logic don't apply in quantum level only. That means in a micro level, quantum physics level, these laws don't apply. The atom, it behaves in a peculiar way, does not obey the regular laws. Then how can you expect that something transcend, something superior, it obeys? So people have very foolish logics. Now the point is what? Here this is the sound. So they have seen the mantras, which are the cause of creation. Quantum is not Shabda, it is also something they go with Pratiksha only. But it is having different rules. I cannot say completely Shabda. It is also Para Shabda only, everything else. We cannot, they can verify some things. But why it works like that, they don't know. Of course, it works because of relationship that I heard. But anyway, we'll not go into. I just want to tell about rishis. Why there are rishis? Why India is glorified for rishis? They are seeing the original sounds. That's why. Say if I say apa, apa means if I can chant this word apa, apa has certain wave, vibration. If I can exactly pronounce this word apa, I can create water. This is the speciality. And the Devanagari Lipi, which you write, apa, it indicates the wave of water. So that's why for computers, this is considered to be the most natural language. the language of is okay. Till now recording didn't happen. So we are recording now. Anyway, that's not a problem. So, so all the sages so we'll just so these are the people who are seeing the mantras. They are seeing the form of mantras, and Brahma also he chants the mantras. He chants Krishnaya Govindaya Gopi Jana Vallabhaya, and this mantra creates everything. Maybe some other time I'll explain. But Rishi means one who sees Rishi. He sees the mantras. And here we have all the sages like Parvatamuni, Narada, Daumya, Vyasa, the incarnation of God, and Brihadashva, Bharadwaja, Parashurama, and disciples, Vasishta, Indra, Padma, Trita, Kashtameda, Ashtika, Akshivana, Gautama, Atri, Kukuksha, and Sudarshana were present. So the homework for you is you can read about the sages. I'll not read about all of them because it is just some information which Prabhupada is trying to help. And many others like Sukadeva Goswami and others, purified souls, Kashyapa, Angirasa, and others, all accompanied by their respective disciples, arrived there. So this is also homework. Bhishmadev, who was the best among the 8 Vasus, received and welcomed all the great and powerful rishis who were assembled there. For he knew perfectly all the religious principles according to time and place. Expert religionists who perfectly actually, I want to tell about the sound. Maybe I will explain a little more after some other sessions. I will explain more about how the creation happens by time and which are the mantras. Brahma's mantra, this clean Krishna Govinda Govi Janavallabhai Swaha. And maybe there are many other things also, which is what is mantra siddhi and other things I'll explain. This is very helpful, very interesting to know. And why we have to this what is this Hare Krishna Mahamantra and what are the other Vedic mantras? What is the difference? That also we should learn. And this will help us to. This is help why we had chanting is so very important. This is basically to understand why we had to chant this mantra to get out of this metal world. Because anavriti shabdat, anavriti shabdat, anavriti shabdat. These are the 3 words of Vedanta Sutras, last 3 words. Anavriti shabdat, anavriti. Because anavriti, the creation is because of sound. If you want to get out of the sound, you take the help of sound to get out. Take the help of sound to get out. With the help of sound, you get out. So anavriti shabdat. Like so. Anyway, I'll explain. Experts religionists know perfectly well how to adjust religious principles in terms of time and place. This is a very important dharma is according to time and place. All the great acharyas or religious preachers or performance of the world execute their missions by adjustment of religious principles in terms of time and place. There are different calamities and situations in different parts of the world, and if one has to discharge his duties to preach the message of the Lord, he must be expert in adjusting things in terms of time and place. Bhishmadev was one of the 12 great authorities in preaching this cult of devotional service, and therefore he could receive and welcome all the powerful sages assembled there at his deathbed on all parts of the universe. He was certainly unable to take time to welcome and receive them physically because he was neither at his home nor in a normal healthy condition. But he was quite fit to by the activities of his sound mind, and therefore he could utter sweet words with hearty expressions, and all of them were well received. One can perform one's duty by physical work, by mind, and by words, and he knew well how to utilize them in proper place, and therefore there is no difficulty for him to receive them, although physically unfit. There are 2 points I want to tell here. One is how different place and different times the dharma is adjusted. So this I was discussing in morning another class. So here there are different instructions are given in the Shastras based on, it's all based on qualifications. Please try to understand this one point. Shastras are never wrong. There are so many instructions of Shastras which may look contradictory. There are injunctions, there is some statements in Shastras that you can eat meat also. There in the Shastras uh, which are telling you can do like this, you can do like this, which may not, we may think, Arey, why here one instruction? They are actually not telling to the same audience. They are telling to different audience. Somebody is in second class, somebody is 10th class, somebody is doing engineering, somebody is doing PhD. So different people are at different levels. So the Shastras are also talking to different people. If you go to Abrahamic religion, there are only one book, maybe 2-3 books max, and everything is in that only. And everybody has to follow the same rule. But Vedic culture is, Vedic understanding is not like that. The Shastra is not like that. Shastra will accommodate everyone. If you want to worship Shiva, you can worship. You want to worship, you are in Tamoguna, you can worship Durga. You are in Sattuguna, you can worship Lord Vishnu. So whichever guna is there, you are accommodated. Not that everybody is one thing. If you say everything is one, everybody should follow one rule, it becomes difficult. People say, Arey, why in other religions they have only one book and it is very easy for them, just follow one thing. Here now we have so many things and so complicated, why don't you tell one thing to follow? But it is not possible only because everybody has different nature and everybody has a different grades, everybody has different qualifications, and they can quote their shastra and say, see, my shastra is telling like this, and they say, yes, you are right, carry on, but just follow shastra. That is why if you go to nowadays many people, they read and they speak, but they're speaking with their own level of qualification and their own the audience are different for them who are interested. If you are interested in motivational speakers, motivational talks, then we can say yes, we are at 10th class or 12th class. If you are interested in spiritual topics, spiritual quotes, spiritual things, then we can say, yeah, we are passing from engineering and we can go till PhD. This is what is things. Motivational, yes, we can do it. Relationship, motivations, and the quotes of some motivations, work hard, no, this difficulty, that difficulty, no problem. So many quotes will be there. That's all only 10th level. It is nothing to do with spirituality. That is not spirituality. That is some religious activity. That is for this type of people. But people who are grown up, for them they need spiritual instructions, they need spiritual understanding for things. Material level, no matter how much motivation, Krishna also gave motivational talk to Arjuna. Kutastva kashmalamidam mishame samapastam anarjishtum aswargam akirtikaram Arjuna. Come on Arjuna, it is akirtikaram aswargam. No, how this Klaibyam samamam partha maitat upapadyate kshudram hृदय daurbalyam. What is this weakness of heart? Come on. And now he's trying to give some pep talk to Arjuna and not trying to wake this is this he's trying to cheer up Arjuna. Arjuna says, no, this won't work for me. You need to give me the root cause of the problem, then you need to give the solutions. That is where the sincerity lies. That is where difference between Arjuna and common people. Arjuna is sincere. Sincere in what? Sincere in trying to understand what is the problem first of all. Everybody is going for solution. Yeah, I'll hear this motivation, I'll hear that motivation, I'll take solution. And this is actually what didn't work for even Yudhishthir also. He said, oh, no motivation talk. I really want solution. And of course, that is a different case here. So the point is, this won't work. This motivational talks won't work. It is all superficial answers. Real answer is come to Bhagavatam, hear Bhagavatam, and work hard, understand it. Then only we'll get real solution. Otherwise, there is no real solution. It's all so many motivations are there. And what happens is motivation is like externally people are taking some drugs and and this all these things, and it won't work for long time. But internally developing is very important. That is possible with reading regularly Bhagavatam. And here we are seeing Bhishma Dev, in spite of his condition with body. So here Prabhupada is telling one can perform one's duty by physical work, by mind, and by words. And here Bhishma Dev is doing with his mind and words the service. It is not just bodies. Body is not cooperating, but mind was completely clear and it was very much in proper state of consciousness. How it is possible? Because he practiced it like that. He worked very hard to practice like that. Other, without that hard work, it not done. So hard work is not just external. Why? There are so many people who are working hard on an external level. They don't want to work with their intelligence. They don't want to work with buddhi. They don't want to understand the basic fundamental questions. All right, these are the questions we need to have answers. So I'm going up and down with the screen because it will, because I'm speaking, I thought it may help. If you are not, if you are, if it is okay, then I will do this way every time. So 3 questions. So if you are making notes yourself, then I will not make, because sometimes I speak and I don't know whether everybody is understanding. That's why I'm trying to make something. So first question is, so this is the most important question people have. If you don't ask this question, then people ask only 2 questions. What are the 2 questions you can remember? What to do and whom to blame. So these are the questions people have. So then no need of notes. I will just directly explain. You are making notes, then I will not share this. Okay. Yeah. So and some people. So 2 questions people ask: whom to blame and what to do. These are the basic questions that are happening around. They'll blame government. They'll blame this party, that party. These are doing. And I have seen also, like in the status of people, they keep so much. So much they like there's so much blaming, I don't know, because of this, because of Britishers, because of Mughals, because of array, nobody's cause. Your karma only. You did and you are born like this. Of course, it is very harsh to say like that. We cannot say on that, but we should know ourselves that this is what is. And then they are always unhappy. And this religious people are thinking we are exploited, and some religious people think that we are ill-treated, and some people think we are in minority. People don't value us, they don't respect us, and some people they say just to appease these people they are doing this. So everybody is feeling that something is there is injustice done to them, and they start blaming others. So this is a blame everybody happens. In the office there is blame, in the house there is a blame, in the relationship people blame each other, relatives blame each other, in the government they blame. So blame is always there. And this is the second question. First question is what to do. But why the problem is coming is because they don't ask this question, who am I? Then what to do, or this is sorry, why am I suffering? And so these are the 3 questions everybody need to answer. If they don't get answer for it, if they are not sincere, they do not ask this question. Only sincere people, after knowing this, then they can know what to do. This is the problem that is happening in the society. They don't ask question. And because you don't ask question, who am I? You just are acting. And how you know what you are doing is right or not? This is where everybody makes the mistake. And 2 questions are always. Yesterday I was seeing some status, and one person was so desperately, means I don't see YouTube or anything, but devotees keep in status. One person is so desperate, so much injustice, so much injustice. I was thinking everybody feels like that only. So wife will feel, children will feel, husband will feel, boss will feel, his employees feel, everybody feel injustice. This is how this world is. Because they don't have, these questions are not asked. And why everything is like this in this world, all these questions come here. There's so many questions which come into this category of why am I suffering? Why am I like this? What is my position like this? Why things are, why, who, what is creation? All these things, the questions are basically why am I suffering? Because why we want to figure out everything? Because we want to figure out why I am like this. That's why we want to figure it out. And then what to do. These are the questions that need to ask. And if we clearly know then we'll be able to act. Act with what? Body, mind, and words. We'll be able to act properly. Otherwise, not possible. And then this is devotion. It becomes very easy. Yes, Gopinath Pranpur. You had some question?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandadas Pranam. So you're explaining all these concepts very nicely. And as you were explaining about these three questions, I got a thought. I wanted to check with you. See, usually what happens is when there is a situation, based on that situation and our impulses and our bringing up and all, we react or give a response to that situation. And you are saying we have to analyze these three questions. So one is we may not give time to analyze these questions. And if at all we get into analyzing these questions, then we will calm down, right? We will not react other, which we would have done otherwise. Am I right?
Yeah, that is
Correct, no?
true. Yes, true.
Because by
Very
the
much
time
true.
you think all these things, your temper or your way of thinking will change totally.
Yeah, we are most of the time we are reactionary beings. We just react to the situation. We don't think.
Because we get hurt or we get insulted or we don't like certain things, so we react or respond in a situation. But so much time we will not have to analyze this. Means my bringing up is like that, no, like I'm saying.
Yeah. So what happens, bro? Here, na? Here, most of the time we go with emotions. We don't go with buddhi. Buddhi is actually thing which thinks. So Krishna is telling Dadami Buddhi Yogadam. I give intelligence. Krishna is telling no, give up this inferior activity. Durena hi avaram karma buddhi yoga dhananjaya. So avaram karma is basically emotional activity. You are just doing based on emotions. But Krishna is telling buddhi yoga. Be conscious about your activity. Just being conscious, na, we can actually overcome so much of our karma. Karma basically comes when you unconsciously perform any activity, it turns into your karma. If you consciously perform, then we will not incur karma. We will be able to separate ourselves from the emotions and the activity. That is actually what is needed. So when you said when we are acting, now Bhishma Dev can play very, what you call, the victim card. Oh, see how much injustice is done to me. I did so much. I followed dharma whole my life. I never did any unrighteous activity. And see, at the end of life, I am sleeping on a bed of arrows. Now at least come see, and Lord Krishna is there, and still he is seeing me. Bhishmada is not even considering only. He's not a victim card, or he's not even blaming. He's not morose. He's completely clear in his mind. He's so conscious. He's not emotional. I know if I have an arrow pierce from one and tell give a class, I say, what is this? First remove the arrow from my hand. And no, I'll get cured, and after 1 week I'll think whether to give class or not. Vishnudev is not emotional. He's not reacting. He's consciously acting. This is bhakti. Bhakti means conscious, which is so difficult. That's why.
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhu. So nice. Correct.
So it's thank you all very much. We will just take conscious life. I will just give one how it happens. I'll tell one example. See, I told this, maybe I'll again tell. If we are seeing, say, it's real emotion had to be respond to Krishna. Yeah, it takes time. So how it happens? Say a child is going in a shop and in the footpath, and suddenly he sees in a window very nice white looking soft object. So eyes will give the information to chitta. Immediately eyes takes that figure and gives to chitta. Chitta has all the information. fast. It has all the files properly arranged. Check, it checks and says, yeah, soft, white, it's ice cream. And immediately the information from Chitta goes to Manas. Manas will say, the child says, I like it. Emotion has only two things, like, don't like. When as soon as Manas says like, Ahankara says, I want, because it identify with that object. And then Buddhi will know, child knows how to get that. It uses the Buddhi. He says, you just have to cry and mother will give it. So it performs an action of crying, then mother will purchase it. So this happens in fraction of second. By the time you see, you react to it and you want it, and then the desire is started. So it's all fast. Yes, that's how it is. Okay. Any other questions, comments? Okay, we'll end here today. Thank you all very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. Tomorrow, if you want to have Narsingh Chaturdasi class, or we can have Bhagavatam continuation. Any suggestions, opinions before you? You can unmute and give your feedback. You can type on. You want to hear on Narsingh Dev, or we should cancel the class? You want to attend temple or anything? Okay. Should I take on Narsingh? Okay, we'll talk on Narsingh Dev. At least it will be.
Narsingh Dev Prabhu.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay, thank you all very much. So we'll meet tomorrow.